My name is Leilani Stapani. I am 10 years old. I am in 5th grade. This is home. People talk about gang reveries, but I don't know what that means. A year ago, the Boys and Girls Club opened. I fell in love with all the activities. I feel safe when I am in the Boys and Girls Club. But the best thing about the Boys and Girls Club is the staff. I met Nisha the first day. We talked about making a step team. I am the president of the step team. Nisha has inspired me to accept all kids that want to be in the step team, no matter if they don't know how. This has taught me to not only accept people in step, but at school and at home. Thank you, Nisha. Nisha has taught me not to judge, but rather help and accept everyone. That's Nisha. Boys and Girls Club of Mar Vista Gardens. Great futures start here.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Leilani Stefani. Welcome to the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Monica State of the Club virtual event. This is our first time we've hosted a virtual event, and we're so glad you've joined us. You're going to hear from youth like me, and our leadership is going to show what the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Monica has been doing in the face of COVID-19 to help our families. I am the 2020 Youth of the Year runner-up, and I'd like to share my story with you. I'm 16 years old, a junior at Hamilton High School, and for the past 7 years, I have been a member of the Mar Vista Gardens branch, founded by Jack and Cindy Jones. Today, I want to talk about the 3 factors that make me who I am: my genetics, my environment, and my decisions. The first 2 things are things you're born with, things you don't get to choose. They are the cards you're dealt. When I was born, my mom and dad were 16 years old. My dad was involved with gangs and drugs, and my mom had dropped out of school. To make matters worse, my dad was arrested and sent to prison. He will be in jail until I am 32 years old. My mom dropped out of high school because of her environment and because she didn't have support. My grandmother always struggled with her alcohol addiction. I would always take care of her. Even when I found her passed out on the floor at night, I would carry her home and tuck her into bed. I always felt that I had to take care of her, when it should have been the other way around. My environment growing up was not the best. When I was 7 years old, I moved into a low-income housing development called Mar Vista Gardens with my mom. My community has gangs, drugs, and violence, but I was never really affected by them. Instead, I chose to look to the positive, the youth in my community who share similar experiences as I. I feel like we can connect to each other and relate to each other on a different level. This is the main reason why I call our club a home. Lastly, I want to talk about my choices. Over the last several years, I have made the choice to continue to attend the club. I was never forced to go to the club. It was always my choice. It is difficult to use words to describe the club because to me, it's a feeling. A million memories rush through my head, like flying to Chicago with my step team or getting my first job as a junior staff. It's a rush of love, support, and excitement. Choosing to sign me up for the Boys and Girls Club is the best decision my mom has ever made. Choosing to continue has been the best decision I have ever made. As I mentioned earlier, my parents were 16 when they had me. I am currently 16 years old. We both had parents that were either in the system or dropped out of school. We both grew up in low-income communities with drug and gang violence. But because of the choices I have made, I am an example and not a statistic. The club and the staff are the reason why I stand before you today. ambitious, and eager. The reason why I get to choose my future. And I choose to do better for myself, my sister, and all the youth and teens that are like me, looking for a way out. I am evidence that clubs like ours do shape the future. Thank you for supporting kids like me.
Thank you, Leilani. That was so great. You're
Thank
the
you.
perfect example of how the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Clubs makes a real difference in the lives of over 4,000 kids each year. We're so proud of you. How are you and your family doing right now? Are you staying healthy?
Yes, we are. We're doing really good. And the club is also helping with that because every day my family comes to grab and go meal, and that's really been helping us a lot.
Cool. And how's school going?
It's really good. I've been adapting to my new schedule, setting my own time for classes and time to do homework. It's really good.
Awesome. Well, we're so proud of you, Leilani. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone. My name is Jason Mignot, and I'm the board chairman here at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Santa Monica. I wish I could see all of your faces this morning. I probably play a bit of romper room welcoming you. So, here's Alan, and here's Sally, and here's Josh and Michelle, and there's my mom. But even though I can't see all of you, I can see that we have well over 200 registered guests tuned in right now, and I'm thrilled to have all of you with us. You're in for a special treat this morning. Each spring, we put on our community breakfast. We talk about how our club is doing. We try and raise a little money. And for those who regularly attend, we usually do it at a nice venue like Riviera Country Club. It's super fun. But this year, due to the COVID pandemic, we're hosting the event virtually. And I know many of you are busy. You're homeschooling, you're working, you're trying to stay healthy. So this morning, I'm going to give you a wonderful opportunity to support your community and an entire generation of kids trying to grow up to be productive, caring, responsible citizens during the COVID era. For over 76 years, our club has impacted millions of kids from hundreds of zip codes in and around Santa Monica. Almost 40 years ago, I was a club member, and I know exactly how important your support is to the futures, the opportunities, the character building, and the health of our kids today. So thank you for being with us. Your donations today will help us to deliver digital content to kids even during the COVID crisis while they're at home, and prepare them for 21st century career pathways. It will also help us to serve thousands of meals across the community. And once the stay-at-home order is lifted and we return back to work and back to school, it will help our staff to provide after-school care and programs to kids across all of our 5 sites. So if you want to give at any time during the program, you can do that very easily by clicking that image right up there at the top of the screen. Again, anytime you want to make a donation, just click that image right up there. It's very easy to do. You can also chat with us right over here. You can say hi. You can tell us why you're here, who you're here to support, why you support the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so now let's get back to the really important speakers today, our kids. Right now, I'm going to introduce a very special young woman, Lydia Solomon. She's 17. She's finishing her junior year at Santa Monica High School. Hey, Lydia. She's been a member of the main branch for the last 8 years. She's working to become a pediatrician and enjoys dance and tutoring. Last year, she donated 214 hours of community service, which is so amazing. Lydia's mentor, Mario Caras, says, Lydia does not only embody great values, but also lives out a life of empowering others around her. She always seeks different ways to make others happy, regardless of whether they are friends or strangers. Lydia understands the true meaning of service and is an asset to any team. Woo! It's so great to see you, Lydia. How's everything at home?
Everything's good so far. Yeah, thank you.
And have you been able to keep up with your dance during the last month?
I'm trying my best. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm so proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Lydia Solomon.
Thank you, Jason. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this morning. At 3 years old, while most kids are going to school, I was in a new country where I didn't know the language or culture. My parents moved to America for a better life, but in the process, my childhood took on a different form than your typical 3-year-old in America. Learning English in a foreign country was not only a struggle for me, but it consumed me. Everyday activities seemed like obstacles. My parents depended on me to translate legal documents, make phone calls, and take care of my younger siblings. I began my journey at the Boys and Girls Club when I was 7 years old. I was a very timid and reserved immigrant child stepping foot into a foreign environment. Initially, the Boys and Girls Club served as an after-school program which I attended every day while my parents were at work. At the club, I was supported with my homework, made amazing friends, and got a sense of real belonging. My favorite memory at the club was going to a Dodgers game for the very first time. I had felt so excited and thrilled to have had this opportunity. This helped me adjust to American culture, and it also gave me some commonality with my peers. My parents and I immigrated from Egypt to the United States in 2006. I had felt obligated to take on a lot of responsibility from a young age, not only for my younger siblings, but for my parents as well. Their struggles with the English language, American culture, and finding work in the United States is what motivated me to work hard and have goals for my future. Since I didn't grow up with the resources available for them to succeed, my accomplishments will also be theirs. Although growing up with limited resources ourselves, my family has instilled in me the importance of responsibility, empathy, and to give back to those who are less fortunate. In my later years at the Boys and Girls Club, I joined Leaders in Training, Keystone, and the College Bound program. I realized I had to do well in school, but I also had to pursue other areas to better myself. In Leaders in Training, I learned how to work well with younger members and be supportive to them. In Keystone, I learned how to be an effective leader through community service projects. And in the College Bound program, I learned I had many options for my future if I put in the hard work. These programs have shaped me into the person that stands before you today. I am no longer the meek girl who joined the club many years ago, but I'm a leader, planner, and dreamer for a future that seems possible. My parents left Egypt to provide a better life for their children. I plan to set a good example for my younger siblings to follow my footsteps to college. For this reason, I am determined to make my parents' sacrifice worth something. The Boys and Girls Club has been instrumental in helping me become a strong, confident, and motivated individual. In the future, I envision a society where immigrant children have immediate access to the resources that will help pave the way for them to better succeed in a new country. In the same way that the Boys and Girls Club has given me a sense of belonging, I plan to do in the future as an educator. The Boys and Girls Club has inspired me to embrace my roots rather to be ashamed of them. They show me how to work hard in order to motivate other kids to pursue bigger dreams. And most importantly, the Boys and Girls Club has shown me how to be great in all aspects of my life. Life at home, extracurriculars at school, and how to be of good service to one another. Thank you for supporting kids like me.
Thank you, Lydia. It takes a lot of courage to tell your story. You're a role model in the club for kids of all ages, so thank you for inspiring all of us today.
Thank you.
Both Lydia and Leilani are brilliant youth leaders, and we're proud of you both. Hi, everyone. My name's Emily Osbrook, and I'm the CEO of Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club. First, I want to show you a quick and fun video that does a great job of showing a day in the life of the clubs during sort of more normal times. And then I'll be right back to share a little bit about what we've been doing right now in response to COVID-19.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. The sounds of tutoring and tech and health and fitness and arts and music. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Isn't that great? Doing whatever it takes to support our kids has taken on a little bit different form, but many of those sounds and activities are still happening in our kids' living rooms, bedrooms, and backyards. We've just had to adapt a little bit to reach them. As our wonderful board chair, Jason Mignot, said earlier, we serve over 4,000 children a year, coming from about 128 area zip codes. Many of our kids come from deeply low-income families, single-parent households, and our kids represent nearly every ethnicity. Our goals for the kids we serve are the same as our own children at home. We want them to be safe and healthy. We want them to graduate high school and go on to higher education. We want them to find careers, not just jobs, that they love and that provide them with healthcare and thriving wages. And ultimately, like all of you that joined us today, we want them to give back to their communities. Everything we do here at the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Clubs, the programs we offer, the places we take them, the ways in which we engage with youth are all guided by those goals. And even though we're in a time of uncertainty and at a point of inflection, we still want all the same things for our kids. We still want to give our kids the same opportunities and supports that their upper income peers enjoy. So while every one of us on the line today are all pivoting the way we normally do things, I'm really grateful that the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club team and the entire community that surrounds us has adapted to this new reality and shifted so quickly to respond to the needs of the children and the families we serve. So doing whatever it takes during COVID-19 is a two-pronged approach for us. The first is human services, so providing basic needs. As you may have heard Jason say, we've now distributed over 10,000 hot meals in the last 6 weeks, and that number is growing every single day. Secondly, the parents of our children tend to work in the industries that were hit the hardest: retail, in-home services, businesses that were partially or completely interrupted, causing significant or total wage losses for our families. So we're raising and distributing direct cash assistance for bills, rent, utility, medical bills, diapers, groceries, you name it, our families need it. Our second key initiative is flipping our education model to virtual programming. We're working to provide homeschool support and other kinds of fun engagement to keep kids learning and growing from home. But in order to accomplish that, we're having to put devices in the hands of many of our kids who are stuck at home without a way to connect. As Lydia says, access comes before education. So we're giving our kids a way to access what their teachers and club staff have to offer. So for the time being, we'll continue to support our kids to reach their own goals for their own futures by providing these direct services and virtual programming. But we're counting the days until we're able to be back in the club and with them every day. And your support today will enable us to do this important work. Our next video features someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to support kids and families, and he's a volunteer. Carl Walter is a board member, he's a baseball coach, and he is always at the other end of the line when we need him. He's going to share his experience at the club as a coach and how he thinks the club impacts our kids. I hope you enjoy.
I started coaching after my car accident. Someone on their phone rear-ended me, and the nerve damage I sustained meant that I wasn't going to play basketball again. And that was a big void in my life. That team, that camaraderie, that spirit of competition, and what that brought out in me. I really needed to find another outlet. I learned about the Mar Vista Gardens housing projects when we moved into the area, but it wasn't until my accident that I found out about the club. I was excited about the idea of coaching. I could get involved with a team again, but it was soccer season, and I don't know much about soccer. It was a steep learning curve, but that was really just the beginning of my education with the club. There was a special feeling of community here in the Gardens, and the Boys and Girls Club is literally in the middle of that. On a normal Saturday, this field is packed with club kids and their families. You can hear the excitement, the joy of competition ringing out from all around. The staff at the club work like crazy to provide good opportunities for our kids. Mentoring after hours, coaching into the evening, being there on weekends. And some of the kids need extra support. My career as a soccer coach didn't last long, but baseball was just around the corner. And we wanted to put together an under-13 travel team. Sign-ups were a breeze. I had more kids than I could handle. And since baseball requires a lot of practice time, I got to know some of the kids. Their realities really opened my eyes. I had kids who lived in their mother's van. Lots of single moms, plenty of first-generation Americans who live in small apartments with their extended families, cousins, siblings, grandparents. Their parents work 2 or more jobs and aren't necessarily available all the time. Aunties and uncles stepping up when those parents aren't around. For some of the kids, the steady influence of the club is as certain as it comes. Poverty and unstable living environments can have a significant effect on social and emotional well-being. That void, that sense of belonging, it's easily filled by a gang. And evidence of the Culver City Boys is everywhere. Sometimes during practice, some of the members will hang out on these bleachers over here. They know my players' names. Some of the kids have siblings in the gang. Others are on the edge. Athletics, though, they can give you something to rally around, something positive to look forward to. And our team in my first season, yeah, we were overmatched, but we worked hard. We gave it the effort. And the kids, they put that effort in. They would spend sometimes 3 days a week in practice. And they learned to develop as a team, rallying to each other, supporting each other as teammates. By the end of that season, we were competing for the championship. We were so close to the win. We had just scored on a rundown. And a pass ball and some aggressive base running brought the tying run to third base. But like many of the kids, the runner didn't have the proper equipment. There were no cleats. She slipped, she fell, and she was tagged out on her way to winning the game. We lost a lot of our players in year 2. Most of our infield, our catcher, our ace pitcher. But the kids who remained in their second season, they stepped up. They improved, they got better. And despite all the changes and the challenges, we ended up in second place again. And we played against a lot of tough teams, some of whom I'm not sure were under 13. It's baseball season again now, and we really should have started practicing a few weeks ago. When the world comes back online, I can't wait to get back out here on the field with these kids, to be available as their coach, to teach them about winning and losing, to show some accountability to a team, to help develop the memories of youth sports, of team building that will last a lifetime, to hear the ping of a bat, making contact with a ball, parents, siblings, grandparents, aunties, and uncles cheering along. Life lessons happen in the background of an American pastime. I'm so grateful for what this volunteer experience has brought to my life. Please help us provide a safe opportunity for these kids to develop into better baseball players, athletes, scholars, and members of society by supporting our after-school programs, and make a donation to our club today.
Wow, that is so good, Carl. Ladies and gentlemen, board member Carl Walter, that was fantastic. I also want to thank Carl for bringing this production to us all today. He's actually here with us. He can see you. You can't see him. You can't see him, and he can't see you. Carl and his team at Penske Media Group sponsored the platform we're using right now, and we couldn't have done this without him. He's even serving as our director this morning. So thank you, Carl. Okay, I want to thank everyone who's made a donation already today. And now I want to ask each of you to make a donation right now. The easiest way to do that is to click the image right here. Just click that image. I can already see some donations coming in. Jack and Cindy Jones with a large donation, $10,000. Thank you, Jack and Cindy. They're huge supporters of our clubs. Alan Young in for $5,000. Bettina Duvall, $5,000. Oh, we've got a few folks here at $5,000. Tom Larmore, Kevin Doyle, Wade Killifer, all at $5,000. Lauren Block, thank you, Lauren. Chris Harding, D. Menzies, $5,000 as well. Sue Potter, thank you, Sue. Michael Tatelman, $5,000. These are great. So again, if you haven't done so, now's the time. You can click the link right up here and place your donation. My gosh, we're off to a great start. We've got Nat Travis is in for $5,000. Thank you, Nat. Here's what I'm going to do. While the donations are coming through, I'm going to share a very short clip showing examples of how the club has responded during COVID-19. During the clip, we'll let the donations keep coming in. So if you haven't donated yet, now is the perfect time to click that image at the top of your screen. So Carl, let's go ahead and run our COVID-19 response clip.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round.
It's clearly evident that our families need the help and the assistance, who are scared about their jobs, scared about putting food on the table, paying for their rent, their utilities. We've now served about 10,300 meals. It allows them peace of mind that they can be here at 3 o'clock every day and know that there's a hot meal ready for them to take back to their kids.
And I'll rise like the day.
My husband's only working 3 hours right now, and it's a lot of help for us. And I'm very thankful, very thankful.
One of our strategic visions is to also offer virtual programs.
Hi you guys, it's Lena from Jams Branch.
Hi, this is Bridget.
Hi guys.
We miss your presence, we miss your energy down at the club.
I miss all of you.
You know, we're all here for you if you need anything.
The Boys and Girls Club is here for you.
I want everyone to stay safe, for everyone to be okay.
We're all going through this together.
So as you can see, the club is making a huge impact over the last month, all remotely, and we can't do it without your support. So thank you. Hey, Emily. We've got a few more that have come in here. We've got Robert Siegel come in at 5,000. Lisa Alexander, 2,000. Thank you, Lisa. I see Jennifer Gordon at 1,000. Thank you, Jennifer. Nat, I think I mentioned Nat a minute ago. Nat Travis, Mr. Santa Monica himself at 5,000. Art Anton at 5,000. Eric Jorgensborg, thank you, Eric, 1,000. One of our past presidents, Paul Leone, in for $5,000. Thank you, Paul. This just in. Even Carl, our director, has donated $1,000. So good, Carl. Amy Fu going to support kids for $1,000. Bill Dawson, Bob Sullivan are in for $5,000. Thank you guys so much. Let's see, Emily, we've got a few more coming in here in the chat. We've got, let's see, Michelle Havens has made a donation. Michelle, thank you so much. $500 goes a long way. Aaron and Hillary Condren donated $1,000. Friends of mine, thank you so much, Aaron and Hillary. Remember, $1,000 helps a family a long way. Emily, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, those of you homeschooling your kids right now will know what it takes to get a kid focused and ready to learn. So imagine not having a device to put them on or even internet. So today you can provide the technology a family needs to successfully support their homeschooler. You can help with rental assistance, buy a bag of groceries, support our staff in creating the kind of engaging educational content that's best to be delivered online, which is different than in person. You can pay for medical bills and supplies. There's just so many great ways to make an impact today.
That's right. So let's see, board member Josh Bradburn just made a donation for $1,000. Thank you, Josh. Scott and Heather Schmidt, $250. Thank you, Scott and Heather. Judy Nouveau in for $250. Thank you, Judy. Ken Parr, $500. What else do you see there, Emily?
Ashley Doogie and Ken Parr, big gifts. Thank you so much, guys. Mikey and Sean Gannon.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, everybody.
I see one of my college mates here, Josh Peistrup, is in for $500. Thank you, Josh. Let's see. I'm not sure if I mentioned Lauren Block earlier. I think I did. $5,000, Lauren. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, just in case you didn't catch it earlier, the way to make a donation is to click right up here on the image. Just click right on there. You can give in probably 2 or 3 clicks. We're gonna kind of keep the giving window open just a couple more minutes here. The 2 young ladies that you saw today are just great examples of what the club is doing in our community. I'll share a couple of other stats with you. In the first month of the COVID-19 pandemic, we served over 10,300 meals. We had, in terms of direct funds provided to member families in the first 30 days, $21,750. So those are dollars going straight into families' homes, helping them to stay in their rental apartments, helping them to stay in school. As Emily mentioned, we're trying to put tablets and electronic devices into the hands of children so that they can keep up with their schoolwork while the stay-at-home order is in effect. We've got Cheryl and Bill Walter at $500. Again, $500, will provide technology support to keep kids online and learning, not just through kind of the COVID era, but into the summer, so their education doesn't have that kind of typical summer slide. If you're a child and you're at home and you're not connected to the internet, or you don't have a device where you can engage your school or the club, you're really at a huge disadvantage. So $500 goes a long way. Thank you, Cheryl and Bill Walter. Emily mentioned the phone calls that she made. So she actually reached out to over 600 families, looking for opportunities to provide support. So these are not folks calling us looking for a handout. We're seeking them out. These are our members. We know that they need us most. And we're in touch with them, and we're looking for ways to support them. I might also note, not everybody knows this, but we all know that across the country, times are hard. People are being laid off. Organizations are closing down. Many Boys and Girls Clubs will actually close down this year because of COVID-19. We're doing a bit better than that, and our focus is certainly getting through this summertime COVID situation and into next year. But it's hard for clubs right now. And I want you all to know that your donations, the donations that we're having today, continue to support our staff as well. So we have over 70 staff. These staff on a day-to-day basis outside of the COVID situation are at our 5 sites. They are in person delivering programs and services to over 4,000 kids a year. Right now, they are working from home. They're creating digital content. We're distributing that digital content to our members. We've kept every one of our staff persons over the last month. We've not had any layoffs, and we're trying to keep all of our staff with us. They do a huge, huge job and a huge service to our community, and we want to keep them where they are. A few more have come in. Emily, do you see these? Let's see.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah, there's a few more. And I also want to mention, Carl said this during his talk, but, one of the things that's really constant for our kids is the club and the mentors that they see every day. That's a big reason why we're trying to keep all of our staff, because when first of all, our staff are offering virtual programming every day so that they can see them during this time. But then when we're back in action, we want our kids to have those same mentors to come back to that they rely on and they trust and they're able to share with. Because that's a huge piece within the development of a child's life, as we know. So paying for staff is sort of, it's really the heart of this work is our people. So we've gotten a number of different gifts during this time. Chuck Hustings, thank you so much. Nick Ralston, thank you. Justina and Linda, thank you both. Eric and Trish Karos.
Yep, I see good friends of mine, Eric and Trish Karos, huge supporters of kids across many communities. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Eric and Trish. Bill and Carol Powell for $1,000. Thank you, Bill and Carol. That is amazing.
Thank you, guys. The Navarro Buckingham Law Company. Bishop Ed Smith. Thank you, sir. Who do we have? Justina Harrell, we already said. Carly Ralston. We're up to almost 15,000. Hardwood Habitat. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate, all of your precious time and energy, and of course, your hard-earned dollars to support this club. It really goes a long way to help families directly right now. So thank you very much.
We have staff members who are donating right now. We don't ask them to do that. Our staff are not, highly paid professionals. These folks are here because they love the work, they love the kids, and they see the impact. And so thank you, Linda Diaz. This is just fantastic. Okay, we are toward the bottom of the hour here. We've done a great job so far. Again, if you want to donate, click that little image right there. It'll come right through and we'll get your name announced here. For those who don't know, we have clubs all over Santa Monica. And as Emily mentioned, we have a club in Culver City, just outside town, called Mar Vista Gardens. But all 5 of those sites are staffed with just great young professionals. When I was a kid at the club, I knew all of the staff who were at the main branch. They were not only looking after me, they were helping me with my homework, anything I know about technology or computers. And if you know me, that's sort of my thing. I learned at the club. We had a small technology station at the club with 4 old machines. And we would wait in line to be able to use them. We have a technology center now. Emily, how many computers are in there? It's got to be 40 computers.
Yeah, it's 37, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The kids are able to go in there. They're able to code. They're able to experiment. They learn. I mean, we're talking a whole nother level. And the donations that are coming through today support those types of programs.
That's right.
Jeff and Victoria Siegel, just been a great supporter of ours for many years. Thank you. The Cox family, $100. Thank you so much.
Oh, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Bendrati. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Drati coming in. For those who don't know, Dr. Bendrati is our superintendent of schools in the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District. He's also a board member and a good friend. Thank you, Dr. Drati.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. Our tech center really serves a number of different things. One of the things that we always say at the club is that our kids are not necessarily the kids that have aunts and uncles that kind of mention various diverse career paths at Thanksgiving. So we really see it as our obligation to expose them to different career paths. So one of our big focuses is getting our kids up and out of the club and into different workplace environments. So tech companies, bakeries, banks, you name it. We take our kids, we give them behind the scenes tours, and they sit with the professionals that work at those organizations, which of course, as we know, every company takes all kinds of professionals to make it go, whether it's accounting, finance, marketing, sales, strategy. And they get to hear directly from those folks about how they got to where they are today and the challenges they overcame. We have a really cool activity we call Career Path Dash, which is sort of like speed dating for school to career advice. And kids really engage. They have that nice one-on-one time with that professional and they get to learn all about it. And the idea is you never know where a light bulb is going to go on. So they hear from these different professionals, they see these different environments that they could someday work in every day. And then they come back to the club and we give them as many opportunities as we can to explore their newfound interests, turn them into, mastery skills, and then help them, hold their hand and bring them along a pathway toward a higher education and career destination. So there's lots of elements to that, of course, as you said, lots of tech programming with coding, but also things like drones and robotics and simple STEM things that teach, torque and, flow and velocity and all these kinds of things. And then, of course, healthy habits. We want our kids to have something that they love that gets them up and sweating and exercising, and also healthy choice making, healthy habits with food, but also with how they spend their money and saving money. And then, a big other focus is social emotional health. So we want our kids to be able to see setbacks as learning opportunities, and be able to communicate with each other. The most successful professionals in the workplace are able to gain consensus with their coworkers, no matter if they're from the same walk of life or not. And so the club is the perfect environment to teach that kind of thing. And then it's after school, so they need to have fun. They need to play basketball, they need to draw, and they need to sculpt, and they need to dance, and and cook and eat. So we do all of that at the club, and really try to kind of meet kids where they are and give them mentors that they can rely on to be with every day and learn from. So thank you for your donations. That's what it goes to support.
So true. We've got a few more that have come through here. Sam Lagana, thank you so much. I wish I could see you. Thank you so much this morning. Elaine Bolaran, 500. Thank you so much. Amanda Hughes. I'm assuming this is my Uncle Johnny is in this list too. Thank you, Uncle Johnny. Great to see you. Your name in this list. Alina DeSantos. Dennis Lamb. Yes, Dennis Lamb, board member. Thank you so much, Dennis Lamb. Gosh, what a great morning. We have, I think of some of the other programming that we try and deliver. I'll share something with you that's kind of timely. It's about this time that we'd be starting our summer programming. During the summertime, we would typically have thousands of kids on a daily basis going through our programs. They're there all day. This is not an after-school situation in the summertime. Not only do we have our normal 70 staff, we go out and we hire volunteers or part-time workers and volunteers to come in and help us run and deliver all of those programs. If you were to go by a club during any given summer, I mean, you'd be amazed. They're packed. And so these donations go to, really drive those types of programs. Now, with COVID happening, we obviously can't have all 5 sites open. Our sites right now, our physical sites are closed, right? We want to make sure that our kids and our staff are healthy. But this is where the digital content comes in. All of those kids still need those same summer programs. These are not just playing games after school. The Boys and Girls Clubs are not just about playing checkers after school gets out, right? These are STEM-based programs like Emily mentioned. We run those throughout the summer. We've got engineering programs that allow our kids to tinker and build things. We've got robotics. We've got a few months ago, we had kids building their own cameras and going out into the community, taking digital pictures and then posting those online for a contest. These are the types of programs, that we like to deliver, and we need to do those this summer digitally. So what we're doing today is directly going to impact whether those 4,000 kids this summer have digital programming that they can engage, or whether they're going to be at home, playing video games and whatever one does without the support of the club.
And Jason, during that time, Annette and Ken Jaffe, Hardeep and Ajit Dandwar, Reggie Keeler, John Gorman, Carly Gregory and Max Nelson, Irene Owen, Marnie Ayers. Marnie's with the Rogue Machine Theater. That's right. And Celebrating Voices writing program, which are wonderful partners of ours. So, and you can hear my homeschooler in the background here. It's like so many of us today. So thank you all. That it means so much to us, and it will go a long way, and will go directly to support.
Yeah. So Emily mentioned homeschooling. So, $500 puts a tablet in the hands of a child, so that they can continue their homeschooling. And I have to imagine there are plenty of folks on this call right now who are going to be homeschooling today. Emily has a child at home right now, awesome little guy, and he requires homeschooling. There will be many kids all across the community that don't have devices, cannot connect with teachers or with staff. It's very difficult for them. So even $500 goes a huge way in the life of a child. We've got, we've got a few more coming in. We're at, about 10:45. We're going to wrap up here shortly. Maybe at this point, I'll just start saying some thank yous. There are a lot of people who helped put this on today. We've got many staff in the background who see what you're doing, who are kind of watching and helping to produce this event. As I mentioned, Carl, our director, Emily not only has been preparing for this fundraiser and this event, she's also managing all 70 of those staff and making sure that we continue to provide programs on a day-to-day basis. I want to thank our board members. We have about 40 board members today. It's a large board. We have a fairly exclusive board in Santa Monica. If you're in Santa Monica and you're a business, you're probably looking to be on this board. I'm so grateful to have all of your support. Many of you donated early today and continue to donate now. I'm so thankful that you're here. I hope all of you are well. For anybody that is brand new to what we're doing, thank you so much for being here today. Clearly, someone in your life told you that they're making a difference. And I'm so glad that you chose to be here and to join us. Emily, any sort of wrap up remarks you'd like to offer?
Yeah, no, same. I know how precious time is. It's one of the most precious commodities we have. So thank you for giving us some of yours, and of course your attention, your energy. And for those of you that were able to give today, we so deeply appreciate it. We will share this video with all of you so that you can share it with others on social media with your friends and family. It's really critical that we get the word out so that we can continue to do this important work. And this fundraising page, that's the link that you can click there, will be up for several weeks to come. As we know, the longer that businesses are shut down, which of course is critical for our health, but the longer that they're shut down, the more the need will increase for our families. We anticipate needing to do anywhere in the range of 3 or 4 times the number of meals that we've done already in the coming weeks. And, as we know, so much is unknown right now. Will we open our doors for summer? If we do, will it be the same amount of kids? Will it be the same amount of time? Or will we have to stay virtual? So we're trying to scenario plan for all of those things. But again, try to stay intact and keep our line and our thread and our support for our families intact. So thank you for your support. Colette Doyle, thank you. It looks like we are at about 20,000 raised today. So, and our hearts are full. Thank you all very much.
We'll be, as Emily mentioned, we'll be sending out a link after the event via email. You can follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're very easy to find. Look for Santa Monica Boys and Girls Clubs. We will send you the link to this event if you want to watch it or send it to a relative or something like that. We'll send that to you via email, and that will be an easy way for you to connect with us. You can share it with friends and family. You can also continue to give after we close. Keep that in mind. So thank you to everyone. You've just made a huge difference in the lives of over 4,000 kids. On behalf of the entire community, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.